Voddie Baucham said something, and thank God for Voddie Baucham. But he said something. He said, look, you're sending your children to Caesar, trying to figure out why they came home Romans. You're sending them to Caesar's school, to the school of Caesar, and then trying to figure out how in the world did they come home as Roman. You sent your child off to college thinking, oh, they're going to get educated. My daughter's going to have a great career. Oh. And then they can't come home a raging feminist, a raging ABC 1, 2, 3 club. Why? Because you send them to Caesar. If you don't want them to come home as a Roman, then don't send them to Caesar. Stop sending your kids to Caesar. Stop sending your kids to these schools, these public schools they want to indoctrinate your children with lies, with stuff that's not going to bring about Christ. I want to say this, and I know not what this video is about, but let me tell you something. The whole premise of secular, especially in this day and time, everything they're doing is for the promotion of tearing down what God has established. That is the whole system. Y'all sitting up here thinking, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with it. They not really trying to come against Christians. Man, the whole system is set up to tear down Christianity. It's to tear down the Christians. It's to try to discombobulate, mesmerize, fool as many people as they can to follow them straight to hell. That's it. They're doing everything they can, y'all. When they unalive the babies, that's all a promotion to tear down the words of Christ. When you go into a church, they call themselves the black church. There ain't no such thing as a black church, by the way, just letting you know. But they call themselves a black church, and there ain't no such thing as no white church. It's the church. They say things. They're promoting things, or having these so-called churches to promote things that don't align with God. Whether that's support for the ABC 1, 2, 3 club, whether that's all y'all getting onto all this environmental stuff, or whatever the case may be, all of it is meant to desensitize you so that you can be fooled. The Bible says we wrestle not. I was listening to Myron Golden earlier in Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, fight not. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers of the darkness of this world. This is what we're fighting against. We're not fighting against a man. We're not fighting against a woman. If we don't figure out that we cannot go to television, to these secular authors, these secular producers and secular people and secular teachers, secular schools and secular colleges for our education and for our knowledge. If we don't figure that out as a Christian, pity you. God already said, he said, listen, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. There's a way. It seems right, but the end thereof. That's why he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he's going to direct your path. But you want to do it your way. Wife, Christian wife, you want to do it your way. Go on your job, go on your career. Make my $75,000, $100,000, or whatever I'm making a year. And making your boss and the company all these millions and millions of dollars that you ain't gonna never see. When you could come together, you and your husband could come together and build something beautiful. That's God's plan. That's God's plan. But no. I mean, look at Proverbs 31 and 10. Some other woman do your job. What could be your job? You could be helping your husband, but you letting some other woman help your husband. And man, you letting your wife help some man to build his dream. This is why many men teach, and even the Bible, about purpose. A man needs to have a job, and that job is his purpose. You have a purpose for living. God has a plan for you. Men, you need to get with that plan. You can find out what that plan is, get with that plan. You get on it. Does it have to be all the way worked out once you meet your wife? No, because that ain't the requirement. The Bible say in Corinthians 7:2, he said, for this reason. What reason? Listen, I'm having some lust issues. Things are percolating in places. And the self-control is hard. It's hard to control. He said, if you are battling self-control, it is best that you get married. So it's not about you waiting on your plan to totally matriculate into materialists. It might not have materialized yet, but you need to at least be on the way to the plan. You need to be working the plan. You need to have a plan, and you need to be working that plan. So that when things start percolating, be like, hey, hold on. Well, I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate on the plan, Lord. Lord, what do I do? I can't concentrate on my purpose. I got all this gift. I got these talents, but Lord, percolating down now. Something in the loins is percolating. What does God say? Get married. Go get married. Go and get married, boy. You need to go and get married. You're going to be messing up some stuff up in here. You're going to be having some babies coming up. They ain't supposed to be coming up. They ain't supposed to be coming up yet. You're going to put your seed in certain places. They ain't supposed to be scattered in the street. So go on and get married. Let's go and get that on out the way. Plus, check this out. That's going to give you some help, some serious help, some godly help that he sanctioned to help you to fulfill the will of God, the purpose for your life that he called you to. She going to help because it's not good for men to be alone. Question is, who would be more motivated at making sure the husband succeed and accomplish all his goals and purposes for his life than you, wife? I'd say the same thing to a man. Who's going to be more motivated at making sure you succeed and accomplish all of your goals in your life than your wife? And let me tell you something. I just got to say this. Men, if you meet a woman that you're considering for marriage and she ain't like that, bro, you need to do this right here. Watch this. Run, don't look back. Run on, don't look back. I say you better run, don't look back. Run on, don't look back. You better run on. You better get on up out of there. Now, if y'all already married, don't run. It's time to do Ephesians 5:25. You got to love your wife as Christ loved the church and wash her with the washing of the word. You got to build her up with that word, man. You got to let her know, hey, this is why we going to do this. And so you can present it to yourself. Because, see, she ain't presentable right now. See, she think that, listen, her motivation is to help her company, help her career people, help her job, help her boss to succeed and accomplish all his goals and purpose. So you got to get that mind renewed. You got to sit down, honey. We need to have Bible study. You know, it's a shame, y'all. I believe he was a great man of God. I think he was. I don't know everything. I was blessed by some of the things that he said and put out. French K.C. Price put out some good stuff, but he also put out some not so good stuff. I'm being nice, Stacey. And he put out a book, and it's a shame that he put it out on one of the most critical areas in Christendom, and that's marriage. He put out a family book, a marriage book, and he said in this book, if I'm remembering right now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but he's put in this marriage book, and I think it was the later editions. I don't know if it was the first edition. It might have been the later edition, but it should not be in any edition. He said, you and your husband don't need to have no Bible study, or that's not a requirement, or it's not a must, it's not a need, it's not as important that y'all have Bible study, or even that y'all pray together. Now, y'all, again, if I'm wrong, correct me. Just show me. Not the early editions, the later editions of that marriage book that he wrote. Yeah, I remember, y'all. I remember. Not, like I said, if I'm wrong, I will apologize. Great. We'll make a whole video about it. But I'm trying to tell you, that thing, it bothered me. I don't even know what I know today. I did not have all the stuff that God has given me today. I was just a puppy. And I knew in my spirit was just like, what is this mess right here? This is some mess. I wish I did know it back then. Well, I would have, I would have cut something up. The bottom line is that we got to watch that. We got to watch who we're letting impart stuff into our lives. If they wrong over here, you can't be going to listen to them. And I'm going to tell you something. Everybody's wrong on something. You know, that's one of the things we're dealing with right now. And I'm not going to do this show today. I'll probably do it in a couple of days on Tony Evans and what how they dealt with his situation.